almost 12% win rate on the bird.
Not even 12%. 2 and 15 in week 2 alone, and really high draft presence. It's played by pretty much everybody. It's not just the weaker teams.
Let's stick with these two for now.
Oh, you don't want a Penta Freljord?
Let's not do this though.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, that's a blind Azir.
So right now, BD is like, it's a Akali time. Pyosik is like,
he's like, do I really get to play this again?
He's like, is this?
Whoa, that's
okay?
Darius.
Okay, now this is a pick we've seen from Keen to counter the Udyr. That worked extremely. I don't think so. I'm gonna say I think it's gonna be boring, Atlas.
Yeah, I think it should be Maokai. Of course, Beryl is a very keen Maokai support player, and there is the Aphelios.
They went Aphelios into Vi.
Oh my goodness, please tell me. If Morgan... Oh, Twisted Advance taken first here by Beryl. And Morgan is already down to 200 health underneath this turret. This is going to be a different story as Envy and Effort playing somewhat aggressively here as Twisted Advance in once again. Cleanse out already as Deft is just firing pot shots, but Effort going aggressive onto Beryl, and Tahm Kench level 1 is not to be underestimated.
Yeah, that's what Keen was banking on, that's what Morgan is banking on here as well, and now we're going to set up potentially a dive, but...
Morgan is going to take a lot of damage from Perfect as he walks past the turret.
Didn't quite work out the synergy yet, the top jungle duo, unfortunately on that one.
All right, that's an Abyssal Voyage, or an Abyssal Dive from Effort, as that used to be the R button, of course, Atlas, as Envy's doing a lot of damage here to Beryl, finds some Gravidums. Like to do that as well. As another Abyssal Dive gets a flash, as now Effort could be potentially in trouble. He eats the Grey Health, though, and now Envy's here to offer that damage back. Effort's so incredibly low, but does manage to get a little bit of health back there, as you can see.
Yes, he's already back, putting pressure on the teleport, and Pyosik's here with level 6. And, I mean, Envy, you're in trouble. You're in danger.
Oh, dear. Well, Pyosik is flashing on top of him still. Envy is going to be able to do a fair bit. Flashes to get himself out of the way here, but it is not going to do anything. And now, there's a catfish out of Water Wolf.
Yeah.
Effort, I don't know. He's going to have to cook up something down there on that bottom side. As they do have Doive coming on over. And that might be the best way to deal with it. Beryl going to use that Twisted Advance, but Pyosik is focused on
ult.
Taking the Gromp, and Beryl is just going to be given up for dead. He's going to wander around a little bit first, though, and it might just be Envy that's able to get the kill, and Beryl doesn't want that to happen, so he's going to give it over to Doive.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Meanwhile, Doive is Doid. Or Daisy? Oh my god. Okay, Doive will find a target here as Pyosik has to get out. Volt Breaker going to be used. Perfect boops and scoots, but he's not going to be able to save Pyosik this time around, and he had no flash as he'd used it earlier.
Than he would like to get there, as this could be bad for Perfect.
Yeah, the Apprehend going to be used as Perfect. He's going to have to run the flash forward from Morgan as they're both ghosting.
That plate goal is not going over.
No, and man, Beryl is just being annoying as there's a Volt Breaker on Effort. He's going to have to flash. Abyssal Dive, and not going to escape that. Cease and desist. Time to take down the last one, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Beryl wants in.
Yeah, that is a Bramble Smash. And Karis.
He's gonna appeal to Hirai. He's gonna look. I told you it's viable.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to trust me.
Oh
no.
Well, that was an ultimate.
Heal acquired. Heal acquired.
He was predicting a flash. He's gonna have to back off. And speaking of backing off, BDD, very conservative play here.
And now, though, Karis is going to have to rely on the Sun Disc.
Well, there is the Nature's Grasp, and the Sun Disc does come down, but he's not even in range of it. And Emperor's Divide pushes a couple of members underneath. Pyosik happy to tank that one up. Nice little pick here, as now Envy having to deal with Perfect. His Gravitum has already been used, and there is the flash away and Effort turning up. And look, I completely agree. So, Deft gonna get the ult blocked, but still does a lot of damage to him with the Infernum. Envy, even though he's very far behind, still does need to be respected somewhat at least. As Shelly pops up, looking to see whether she can get some work done. Morgan on the flank angle, just dealing with soccer balls just coming from everywhere, as now they're going to use such an interesting engage tactic. Doiv having to get himself out of there, as now Effort does devour Morgan, but is he going to be able to keep himself alive? Karis looks for the backline, finds the air, and Beryl is just going to scoot on past because Twisted Advance avoid all of the CC.
BDD with a good flash there too. Pretty force, and he may be dead.
Yeah, Perfect Pyosik is going to walk at Morgan. Let's see what Morgan can actually do here outside of just dying. And he's just going to die, unfortunately.
And when you're focusing on one item, Barrel?
Yeah, he has found himself a Tom Kench and will interrupt his voyage, and that's going to be the end of that, as now Karis gets in there, finds 2 with the ultimate, but Beryl, Twisted Advance once again. Envy tries to pick one up, but BDD gets the heal, and he will survive. And now Vault Breaker onto Envy, all of the buttons being pressed, and the Aphelios.
Wouldn't have been the answer necessarily, is we're doing it again.
Yeah, Morgan is, I mean, Pyosik could have just soloed in there.
Unfortunately, how poorly the early game went for Morgan is...
Perfect thought about running away and then decided, hang on a second, maybe I can just kill them all. Empress Divide looked like it did nothing, but as it turns out, Perfect's going to try it again.
There's no call. I mean, they're like, do we hit Dragon? Do we get out? I don't know.
Well, some rocks do go down. Beryl's going in, as he loves to do. And there is the separation. Doiv has to flash to get himself out of there, as the Nature's Grasp comes down as well, and Bro are just getting handled right now. These shurikens are starting to hurt, though. The apprehend is kind of massive. Empress Divide doing some work, and they take down Beryl. The dragon is taken by the Udyr, and it is a catastrophe now. Bro they didn't have the stats, they didn't have the items, and Pyosik may not have the life. Here could be the revenge. The answer is no, actually. Pyosik just a little bit too far ahead, and BDD, he's taking down the base now.
Yeah, off the back line there, as he tried to do in that last fight.
Oh dear. Pyosik has found Effort, and Effort is going to get interrupted and destroyed. Trying to go for an Abyssal Dive there was a fool's errand, as of course Pyosik can just use his R button. And so now the defense for these carries on the side of Bro is not going to be there. With Hextech Soul, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Emperor's Divide to push them away. That does keep Bro alive for the moment, but their inhibitor is still going to be going down.
He's here, he's got Leandri's, and you were just not getting in here. He doesn't have ult, but doesn't matter.
Steal, question mark? As Perfect, he's just looking for Envy. He's going to dive all the way in there. Apprehend going to be utilized, but it doesn't really do too much, as now BDD has created a little pocket for himself. And Morgan in that backline looks for Deft, but Deft is able to take care of it. Takes down 2 that were facing off towards him, and Envy not going to stand here for much longer. Triple kill for Pyosik, and that is going to be the last one. BDD with the alpaca thumbs up as they walk towards the Nexus. And KT, I mean, there used to be the meme, clean 2-0, nothing to see here. That was often said sarcastically, but this was a pretty clean 2-0 here today.
Yeah, one of the more one-sided series we've seen, unfortunately, this season. Just completely outclassing the side of Bro, and new jungler coming in. You know, it didn't really work out. Still early days. Don't want to judge too harshly. It's KT bouncing back in a big way. We said